Hello and welcome to Retrotainment Recast here on the Dynamo Podcast Network. I'm Carl Sherlock, and today we are recasting an absolute classic, my favorite. We're going to be doing Ferris Bueller's Day Off as if it was being made today. We have our challengers there today, the reigning champion, Ted,
Yes.
beating me last week or 2 weeks ago.
Beating the bricks off you.
Yeah, it was a close one.
It was.
A double draw done you out of it, Carl.
A double draw. And then the challenger this week, Greg, will he take the title? Will he take the title?
Damn right I will.
Let's see. We're going to jump right into it, and we're going to have a big one here to start off. Actually, have you guys sent the pictures into the group chat?
30 seconds. 2 seconds, Turkish.
Now. Send.
3.
Now.
Go.
And phone is
Perfect.
down.
Phone down.
Mine's about to die, so you don't have to worry about me looking at it.
Perfect. So we'll start off with the antagonist of the whole film. We'll go with Ed Rooney. And Ted, to start us off.
Okay, so I had a couple of people when I was looking at this. So I'll give you one of the people I had as like a backup, and it was Donald Gleason, who is one of the main bad guys in the newer Star Wars.
I could see that,
Donald
yeah.
Gleason.
I could see that, yeah.
And I was thinking he kind of has that look as well, you know, the kind of smarmy sort of look. And I was quite happy with that choice for a long time. And then I was like, I better just give this a rewatch to make sure it doesn't change my opinion on anything. And then I realized I don't know that I've ever seen Donald Gleason be kind of the comedy, like the butt of the joke character.
About time, maybe?
Shameless.
A little bit, but even still, he's not like they're the different kind of butt of the jokes, you know. He's like a loser there. He's not the antagonist. So I said to myself, I don't think he works for that then. So I went with somebody else who I have seen do it and is a fantastic actor, and I have no doubt that they could play the kind of creepy part of Ed Rooney as well. Bryan Cranston. And it's not like he doesn't take small roles, because he took the one in That Godzilla where everyone thought he was going to be the main character. And a little spoiler for anybody who hasn't seen That Godzilla, dead within like 10 minutes.
Yeah, when I seen that, I was like,
shocked.
I was like, what the fuck?
Well, that's because that's the way they put the ad. They edited the ad to make it seem like he was the main star in the film.
Yeah, but if you've seen Bryan Cranston, you're like, when you see Bryan Cranston in a film, especially at that time, because he just
this is Breaking Bad.
You're like, he's going to be the main guy. Dead 10 minutes. So you're just like, he doesn't need to be the main star. He's happy to take it. And obviously the show I'm talking about where he's the kind of comedic fool is Malcolm in the Middle.
True. I actually saw people when I went to see that film. Someone got up and left after they saw Bryan Cranston die.
I missed a good film then. I thought the rest of the film was pretty good.
I haven't seen the two newer ones, but that one I did enjoy now, I must say.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That's the one in Japan, isn't it? With the
Yes. Yeah.
They're all kind of set. The new ones, I've only seen the first one of them as well, but they're all kind of set in Japan.
I think they're all kind of set in Japan. Yeah.
It's the way it should be.
Yeah, well, that's where he's from.
It's Godzilla.
Godzilla is Japan.
I don't know. Now I did like the one in New York. Said nobody ever.
Oh.
I don't mind him traveling to New York
with Matthew Broderick. Don't forget, with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah,
that's why I threw that one in there.
Not his finest moment.
No, not at all.
He wasn't too bad in the movie. The movie was just terrible.
Yeah, but not his finest moment.
No.
Do you have anyone to beat Bryan Cranston, Greg?
I'll give you my backup first. So I had Joaquin Phoenix as the backup.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I just, as I said, I couldn't really see him being joked around too much. You know what I mean? He's kind of moved into more serious moves now. I know the Joker shows him as being fucking mental and all
but that's not comedic role.
Yeah, he's not the joke, the butt end of the joke there. Do you know, like it's a spiraling depression. Like it's a very different Joker.
No, but that's what I mean. Like you don't see too much. Like, and then you have the likes of Walk the Line and whatnot. Gladiator was just a classic, but he like I'd understand if he was the star of that show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like he's in it, but he might as well just be playing second or third fiddle in that. But I did have a comedy actor who I think could do it as well, and I went with John C. Reilly.
Oh, that's a good choice. Yeah, that's a good choice.
Looking at him when he was in is it Cirque the Freak, the vampire one? When he was in Step Brothers as well. It's just some of his facial expressions and is like he doesn't care being taking the piss out of himself even.
Yeah, true.
I think he kind of reminds you a lot more of Ed Rooney than Bryan Cranston, who'd be a lot older now.
They're
Ed
probably
Rooney's
similar.
not exactly young.
Yeah, they're probably similar enough in age, I would say, even both John C. Reilly and Bryan Cranston. I wouldn't say there's much between them.
I'd say there's a good bit. I'd say I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't have my phone to check.
Do
you have any rebuttals against each other, or?
Oh, I'd be happy with either of them, to be honest. I do like Bryan Cranston as an actor.
I don't know. I've never seen John C. Reilly as kind of a bad guy. That would be the only thing. I've never
the Cirque du Freak one.
I've never seen Cirque du Freak, so I can't judge him on that. Like I've only ever seen him in things where he's a full on comedy. So I don't know if he could be the bad guy. Now, obviously, I haven't seen Cirque du Freak, so if he's good in that, he's good in that. But I can't.
Good movie. It's a kind of underrated movie as well. It's kind of not a kids, but like a late teen movie. I enjoyed it when I seen it when it first came out. Now I haven't seen it in a while, so I don't know how well it holds up. But I do like John C. Reilly in most comedy things, and I think he could play the Ed Rooney role, especially that bit where he's on the phone. You know, he's like, Ferris is online too.
Yeah,
playing off Grace.
I think he can do the comedy bits superbly. It's just when he has to be
intimidating stuff.
Yeah, when he's like, I can't imagine being intimidated by John C. Reilly. You
know
what I mean?
No, he's a big guy.
Kill that dog.
What a dickhead he is for that.
Well, he doesn't kill the dog.
He doesn't kill the dog, but
he's still a dick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although there's not much intimidation in it, really, when you look at it. It's just him on the phone, really. He doesn't see Ferris till right up till the end. Do you know what I mean? He gets a kick in the face off Genie.
And then he thinks he finds Ferris in the arcade.
Yeah. But again, it's all to do with the facial expressions in the arcade when she spits the coke on him or whatever.
Yeah, but when he's like sneaking up on her, that's kind of the intimidation part.
Yeah.
But it's not a huge part, to be fair. So like as you said, like either of them I think could be good choices here.
I must say though, I do like, and Bryan Cranston didn't even come to my mind now.
That's a really good choice. Yeah. I'll give, before I decide, I'll tell you what my picks were.
Yeah.
My backup was John C. McGinley. So Dr. Cox from Scrubs.
Yeah, I had him on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can just picture him going.
Yeah, and he's actually going to be in Brooklyn Nine-Nine the last season. He's going to be the kind of antagonist in that as well.
He's too intimidating though, isn't he?
My choice was kind of for a throwback, and I think he can play it off because he has this kind of smarminess about him now, is actually Matthew Broderick himself.
See, now that would be interesting. Yeah, that would be interesting, yeah.
Because I could see him playing that role now. He's about the right age for Ed Rooney, and he's, he'd have
to cast him.
Smarminess about him.
See, that was kind of the thing. I was looking at that, and I was like, I kind of thought of that. I was like, Matthew Broderick would actually be around the age, and I was like, but since it's not a remake, it's like it's as if it was being made now. True. I was like,
yeah.
I think a lot of why I'm thinking Matthew Broderick is because I'm like, it's Matthew Broderick, and now he's the principal. And I was like, would I've even thought of him if he hadn't been Ferris Bueller? That's what I did have him on my original list at one point, and then I was like, I'll take him off because I think that's the only reason I'm thinking of him.
To be honest, it's probably the reason why I thought of him. If it wasn't for that, I would have went with John C. McGinley.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna have to go for Bryan Cranston there. That one kind of just
nice quickly.
That stole it for me there. I was just like, that's a really good choice.
I was really happy with that one when I came to it, and I was like, I swear to God, if I come in here and Greg turns around and goes, Bryan Cranston, I'm going to lose my shit. The same as Jason Momoa, I thought I was onto a winner there, and then everyone.
No more draws. No more draws this week, lads. No draws this week, please.
He didn't even come into my mind, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Ron Perlman as well, but I think he was just too big.
He's a big guy, isn't he? Like,
he is.
You
wouldn't hire that guy to be a principal.
No.
Well, I've seen Arnold Schwarzenegger be a kindergarten teacher. Why couldn't he be a principal?
Well, he was undercover though.
Yeah, that's also that's Arnie as well,
Exactly.
I've seen The Rock be the Tooth Fairy.
Less said about that, the better.
Exactly. Greg, we'll start off with yourself here, and it's kind of Ed Rooney's foible here. They play off each other in a couple of scenes. We'll go off with Grace.
Right, so
Secretary.
the easiest answer here was Melissa McCarthy, but I really didn't want to pick her because she annoys the hell out of me.
Yes.
I don't think she's a good actress. She's 100% not funny.
She can be a good actress in serious things. I know she was Oscar nominated there 2 years ago. I can't think of the name of the film right now, and she was really good in that.
Yeah, her comedic timing is a little bit off or something. I don't know.
She's the female Kevin James.
Kevin James is kind of funny though. I like Kevin James.
But they only do pratfalls. That's all they do.
I don't know. Kevin James's horror movie Becky was very good when he moved.
I heard actually.
Yeah.
But that's again, it's gone to a more serious role. You know, it's less comedy.
Like I think Kevin James got a lot of love from King of Queens with Ben Stiller's dad, Jerry, and Leah Remini.
Yeah, he did get a lot of love from there. That was good. Like that's why I think his comedic chops are better than Melissa McCarthy's. Like,
but I went with Drew Barrymore here.
Oh,
she's funny.
That's not a bad choice.
She's funny. She has the facial expressions. You can see her getting really flustered very quickly in certain movies. And I was like, yeah, I like this.
That's a really good choice.
I had what's your one from Cockblockers? Lisa Mann. Leslie Mann.
Yeah.
I had her on the list as well, but I was like, no. But when I seen there was a picture that popped up when I was looking at Drew Barrymore, and she had that kind of bob haircut, and I was like, yes.
No, I can see that. That's a good choice. What about yourself, Ted?
So I was the same as Greg. The first thought was it's just going to be Melissa McCarthy, isn't it? And then I said I really don't want to go with her. So I thought of someone quite similar to her in this wasn't who I went with, but Rebel Wilson.
Yeah, I had her on the list as well.
Quite similar as an
I'm
actress,
not a huge fan of her either.
Again, I'm not a huge fan.
I'd watch Melissa McCarthy quicker than I'd watch her.
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I don't think I would.
At one point, I was looking at I think it's Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler,
yeah. Yeah, I was thinking her for a little bit, and I was like, I went away from that, and I went this one. This is one I went a bit risky on because I don't know if you're gonna like the idea. Because obviously it's a female secretary. I went with a male secretary.
Is it Danny DeVito?
No, I wish it was Danny DeVito, but he's too old to be the secretary. And I went with someone who can do that, whole flustered role quite well, but like he has the comedy as well. And I went with Jack Black.
Oh, okay. Jack Black.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risk because obviously, you're moving away from.
But I can see him doing the same.
When I rewatched it, her kind of mannerisms, and when she's like waving at him, like, no,
don't do it.
Like, no, line 2. I was like, I could just see Jack Black acting like that and taking the pens out of her hair. I was like, that's exactly something I could just.
Except it'd be out of his beard.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, he'd have them everywhere.
Yeah, that's a good choice as well.
As much as I wanted to cast Jack Black, I'd cast Jack Black in anything. I just think he's too big at this stage now to fit in there, especially to be play second fiddle to Bryan Cranston. You know what I mean? He doesn't take parts now. That's not really him as one of the main characters. Like, are you going to pay Jack Black all that money to come in and do 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Yes.
I would. Personally,
I think we all would. Yeah, no, I can kind of see that. I think like he does take kind of minor roles in certain, like Jumanji. I know he's a little bit more of a major role, but he's kind of a minor role in that as well.
But he's still one of the main sort of group of characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
He might be the less of them, but he's still gonna be one of the main characters in it.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'd watch this if Jack Black was.
I just think that the mannerisms that she portrayed as the secretary, and also I think like when she's describing Ferris, she's like, they think he's a pretty cool dude, And I was like, that's exactly something Jack Black would say, and not because they told him to, not because that's what was written. They'd just be like, say something about him being cool. I was like,
Yeah,
that's what Jack Black would say,
and
isn't
he'd
it?
put he'd put his little inflections on the cool dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right, let me think on that one. While I'm thinking on that, my choice there, and I said it actually in the group chat, that this wouldn't be necessarily someone that I'd love for the role, but it's definitely someone that they would cast in this role if it was being remade today, and that's Kate McKinnon from SNL. She's also in the Ghostbusters remake.
Yeah.
Like it's not something that I love, that I'd love for her to be recast, but I can guarantee that that's who they would cast.
Yeah, I had looked at her a little bit, but I was like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't particularly like her myself, to be honest. For the role, or as an actress, I haven't really seen anything that I love her in. But
the less said about Ghostbusters, the better.
Yeah, I can say I'd be fairly confident that she'd be cast in that role if it was being made today.
The only thing I would think about her is that she is kind of young looking, so I think that might hold against her because she looked a bit too close to the age of some of the other younger.
Actually, I think she's in her late 30s.
Yeah.
She might be, but I think she kind of looks a bit young. Now, obviously, makeup and everything, you can make anybody look like anything you want. It doesn't matter anymore. But
we're all tied up here. That's it's going to be a Drew Barrymore for the win there.
Yeah, fair enough.
It was only she didn't even come into my mind up until I watched E.T. with Finn there the other day.
Yeah,
and she's a kid,
that's
and I was like, hold on, let's see how she looks now. And then that picture popped up. I was like, I'm in.
Yeah, no, that's a great choice. I didn't even think of Drew Barrymore. That's really good.
Would I have won with Melissa McCarthy?
No.
Yeah.
No, I think we all kind of were like, Melissa McCarthy is the obvious choice of someone they would pick, but none of us would want to go with it.
Exactly.
See, this is what I was saying. I for some of these I went a little bit of left field, and Jack Black, I was like, he's kind of a bit too big maybe for that role now. But I was like, I just can't not see.
He could have been a very good Ed Rooney, actually.
No.
Jack Black can do anything, lads. He can do anything.
Anything funny he can do, but I think if he portrayed Ed Rooney would be an even bigger joke than he kind of is. You know, he'd be too much of a joke to be even taken.
He's taken seriously, and then at the end he's taken as a joke, but he's serious all the way through the film.
Yeah.
Now we're doing this, and there's not a huge cast in this film, so. The last one that we had to do was Boy in Police Station, which is famously played by Charlie Sheen. So who do you guys recast for this minor role?
Charlie Sheen.
Put Charlie Sheen back in.
That'd be a bit creepy for a high school student.
Yeah, it'd be very
Charlie Sheen now.
It'd be very creepy to do that. So Boy in the Police Station. So I had two people kind of for this. The person I went with, or the person I didn't go with, was Nicholas Hamilton, who played Henry Bowers in It, the younger version of Henry Bowers, because he's the the bad boy.
Yeah. I could see that.
And I kind of could see that because I was like, he's meant to be a bad boy, but then again I rewatched it and I was like, Charlie Sheen's character, although he's like a drug addict, he's not like a bad guy. And I was like, Henry Bowers was just a dick. I was like, that kid was just a dick in that film. And that's the only thing I've seen him in. So I was like, that's all I could base him off. I was like, he's a bit too much of a dick. And I was like, he's also Charlie Sheen at the time. It's meant to be kind of a heartthrob sort of character as well. That's kind of the point of it.
Exactly.
And I was like, I don't know if Henry Bowers fits that mold either. So I went with someone who, again, might be now a little bit big for this role. But I went with Tanner Buchanan, who's Robbie from Cobra Kai.
Okay, yeah,
who I think is who Greg's gone with as well here, is it?
Yeah.
Two Tanner Buchanans. Okay.
Yeah, see, he plays the bad guy at the start of Cobra Kai. He's he's a little dick who's gone around robbing people and everything. But then later on, you realize, he's actually not that bad a guy. He's the good guy.
Man also nearly paralyzed somebody.
Yeah, but then he goes back to being the bad guy, and then he's back to being the good guy. So he can do both, So
he's actually the only name on my list for this.
Really?
I had one other person in mind, and it was Dave Franco, but he's a bit old.
He's a bit old.
Yeah, he's a bit old. This is the hard bit. You kind of want to get someone in the right sort of age, or someone who at least looks
the
right age.
The right age.
I had to Google Dave Franco. He was the first person that came to my mind.
Hmm.
Because I'm rewatching Scrubs, and obviously he's in that. Like, and I was like, he could be about right, and then it turned out he's 34, and he is not right. But,
Tanner's a bad choice, or not a bad choice at all. I mean, it's gone down as a draw, so you both get a point there. My choice there was Cole Sprouse.
Yeah, I seen your man from Friends and everything else.
Yeah, Ben from Friends, and then I think he's Jarhead in that teenage drama that's on Netflix.
Cole and Sprouse show.
Yeah, he's also Zach and Cody.
I haven't seen him in anything other than when he was Ben and Friends, so
yeah,
I can only judge him as being a little child.
Was he not?
Of course.
Was he not in Big Daddy as well? Was that not him?
He was, yeah.
Again, he's a little child.
He's a child there, but no, he's doing Riverdale. That's the name of the show. He's doing Riverdale, and
I don't watch that.
I don't watch it either.
It is a big show, though. To be
but
fair.
it's a big show. He's probably the main star in it. Basically playing a drug addict.
Yeah,
so, I mean, a drug addict, a cool guy drug addict. So I mean, I think
I've just looked him up there. I've looked him up there. And like you can see him in that role as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he wasn't as old as he is, Jonathan Lipnicki could have been very good there.
Oh God, Jonathan Lipnicki. Where'd he go?
It looked like he went to jail for about 400 years because that man is shredded now.
He's shredded, yeah. Jesus.
What a beast.
Yeah.
And we're going to get to first here now into our main tree before we go back to the sister. So we'll go with Sloane, Ferris's girlfriend.
It's me, isn't it?
It is, Greg. It is indeed.
I'm gonna play off your love strings here.
I knew somebody. I knew somebody was going to go with her.
Don't try and play that game, Greg.
I did go with Zendaya. Yeah. Watching her in Spider-Man. She has that kind of quirky look, but it's like I'm good looking, but I'll still fuck you up in some ways.
True.
She has a bit of an attitude, but like I'm sure she could play the good looking girlfriend as well. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Yeah. Don't know what else I need to say. She's just good.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
Again, for like Sloane, for somebody who is one of the main three, doesn't do a whole lot in this film.
No, not at all.
Other than actually just physically be there. She's there a lot, but her actual workload, like probably the main thing is
the phone call and the bit with Cameron.
One where she like does a horrible impression of someone being told that their grandmother has just died in school. She's not that sad at all. And then, the bits with Cameron where she's trying to wake him up, and when she talks to him,
kissing her father,
kissing
but then
close family.
Yeah, but then the bit where she's talking to Cameron when Ferris is up on the float as well. Like that's probably her biggest sort of part.
And then when they're chatting
in the pool,
when they're in the restaurant.
Yeah,
in the restaurant as well. Yeah, let's go.
I know when she jumps on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm looking for what's his name?
The Sausage King.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't
think of his name.
Well, it doesn't matter.
So that's who you went with then, Zendaya, was it, Craig?
Yeah.
Did you have any backups or anything, or
no?
Just that. Okay.
Just Zendaya right away.
Okay, so I had one backup, which
was Zendaya.
No, it wasn't. I didn't even think of her because I was like, I kind of tried to stick away from picking people that we've picked for every single film.
Can I guess who it is?
Yeah. Well, my backup or my main one?
Is it Margot Robbie?
No. No. So my backup was.
Ferris would only be so lucky, yeah.
My backup was Sophie Turner. So obviously from Game of Thrones.
I can see that.
Who I think could do the role quite well.
Yeah.
She might be that little bit too old now.
I don't know if she'd take the role.
It's not big. It's not
big role. I don't know if she'd take it anymore.
Yeah. She's fifth biggest cast. That's because you're putting Ferris, Cameron, Ed Rooney, and Genie ahead of her.
Yeah, exactly. So I
don't think Sophie Turner would take that role.
Yeah, so I was kind of like, I don't know if she'd take that role. So I went with someone who does take quite a minor role. And this is just something that we said in the group chat. You were saying you didn't want people from Stranger Things too much. I actually did go with someone from Stranger Things, and it's Natalie Dyer, who is the older sister in Stranger Things, Nancy, who I think she's, again, similar to as Greg said, she is a badass in that to an extent, but also like she is a good looking girl, so she fits that role as well, the exact same way that Greg was saying Zendaya could.
Okay, yeah, I remember, yeah. Okay, not bad choices there. I actually, my backup on that one myself was someone from Stranger Things itself. It was, I can't think of her name, because I don't have it written down there. It's Uma Thurman's kid.
Yeah, I thought of her as well, and then I just said,
she was actually a backup for Genie for me as well.
Yeah.
Is it? No, it's not Millie Bobby Brown, is it? No.
No. She was only introduced into the latest season. She was working in the ice cream store.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, Uma Thurman's kid. I can't think of her name. But the one that I went with was Isabella Merced. If that's not entirely sure if that's how you pronounce her name, Merced. She was in Instant Family, and she was also Dora, the live action Dora. She's a really good actress.
That Dora movie wasn't that bad, actually.
It wasn't the worst.
Didn't see it.
Wasn't the worst. I saw a little
bit. Might be a bit
there.
creepy if you watch it now, Ted. I want to see what the kids mind you. But
yeah, but Carl doesn't have kids either.
Carl also has an unlimited ticket to the cinema.
Yeah.
I had the sister-in-law over. She's only 10.
That's fair enough. That's then. Fair. It's Maya Hawke, by the way, is the.
That's it, Maya Hawke. Yes, yeah. That's a tough one. It is a tough one.
Ted's way here.
The only reason I didn't go with Zendaya is because we'd used her so many times, and I was like, will I try and sweeten Carl up because you used her? To be fair, you've only actually used her once. You argued for her hard that time, and I was like,
very hard. I still lost.
I was like, do I try and play on Carl's heartstring of that? And I was like, maybe, but I just kind of thought, as well, having been in Spider-Man, is she now just maybe the bit too big? I don't know. Like,
I don't think so.
She might not be, because she is a minor role in Spider-Man as well.
That's why I'm going to go with Natalie Dyer. Because I do think Zendaya is too big for the fifth name on the cast sheet.
She's not even the third biggest character in Spider-Man. She's not even the fourth biggest character.
But then Spider-Man's not her own. Spider-Man's not her only franchise or her only film roles. She's getting big roles, and she's in Dune as well. She's one of the leads that's going to be in Dune. She's just done Malcolm and Marie. She's done. I'd
say
she's building a great filmography.
She was in Greatest Showman as well, wasn't she?
She was, yeah.
Dune looks good, but I have a feeling it's gonna be fucking.
I'm hoping Dune is.
I can't wait. I can't wait for it.
It should be good, but I'm worried that it might go badly. So what? That's me up by one with 3.
Yeah, it's 3-2 at the moment. 3-2.
Yeah, because we had a draw. Yeah.
Yep.
I knew when I said him, I knew Greg was gonna use him as well. I was just thinking, I was like, Greg's gonna use Robbie as well.
It's just instant.
Yeah,
we need to get away from Cobra Kai, lads. We need to get away from Cobra Kai.
He's the first one I think I thought of for that role as well. It's just so hard not to put him there.
So we'll go with Genie now. While we're here, we have the main female in the story, Ferris Bueller's sister, Genie, played originally by the beautiful Jennifer Grey.
Okay, so I had as my backup, I had Cara Delevingne, but
eyebrows herself.
Yeah, but it was only really to have a backup is why I put her there, just so I could have someone just in case. But who I went with was Saoirse Ronan. I think Saoirse Ronan would do that role very, very well.
Okay.
The kind of, like the way that character is portrayed is that she's not highly sought after by the boys or anything in the school, because when she's in the police station, she kind of says, to boy in the police station that she's kind of like, oh, no one's really interested in me. They're only ever interested in my brother. So you kind of get that bit of like, she's a little bit of that outcast, and she's second best to her brother at everything. But also I think like she carries herself well throughout the whole film. So I don't know. To me, I was just like, yeah, I think Saoirse Ronan kind of works there.
Okay.
But this was probably one of the ones that I found hardest to cast, to find someone that fit in for Genie well.
Alrighty, and Greg, what about yourself?
My backup was actually from Cobra Kai. I had Mary Mouser as the backup.
I looked at her for Sloane.
Yeah.
But then I thought I had too much Cobra Kai.
We're just recasting Cobra Kai here, lads. That's the long and the short.
I genuinely had her looked at as Sloane. I don't know. It's just like, no. Too much Cobra Kai. Carl will be angry.
But overall, I went with Emma Stone. She plays the outcast in Cruella so well.
Emma Stone.
I
She's
think
not a bit
too
old.
I don't know. I wouldn't say there's too much between her and Saoirse Ronan.
I love it.
She looks older.
I don't know. Jennifer Grey didn't look young in this show. She's driving a car and she's in high school.
I see. Emma Stone is 32.
Is Emma Stone not a bit too big as well? As a star, like, is she not a bit?
I'd say she's on the same level as Saoirse Ronan.
Saoirse Ronan's won an
Possibly.
Oscar.
Saoirse Ronan's 27.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? She's like, she
5
can get away.
years, yeah.
She can get away with the young look. Like, look at her when she plays a young Cruella.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
The outcast. She plays the outcast in Cruella really, really well.
I suppose I always just think of Saoirse Ronan as that extra bit younger than her because she hasn't been around as long as.
Well, she probably has.
Well,
like, she was only about 11 or 12 when she done
Hannah.
Lovely Bones.
Yeah, well, Hannah is one of them. No, sorry, I was going to say she hasn't been around in as big of films as Emma Stone. Like, when I think of Emma Stone, like, I look back and I'm like, she's been around in big films for quite a long time now. And Saoirse Ronan was in kind of small indie films for a long time.
She's the better actress, though. Saoirse Ronan is.
Yeah,
better an overall actress.
I like Emma Stone as an actress as well, but yeah, I didn't even think of her for this role.
I think having watched Cruella not so long ago, I was like, I looked back. No, I hadn't seen all of Cruella, so I don't know how it finishes up. But I was like, yeah. She could do it. She's like, Jennifer Grey was all right. She's not as good looking as Sloane in it, but it doesn't have to be that way. It could be just people ignoring her because of her brother.
It could be, yeah. See, I always think of her as a good bit older. Emma Stone as a good bit older because I think back to when she was in Spider-Man, which was like early 2010s.
Oh, that was the one with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah. So I always think of that, and I'm like, she's well past being a teenager now because that was 2010s.
But
which, it's not actually that long ago. Like, she could easily do a teenager.
When you look at it in this one, the fella who played Cameron, was 29 when he played Cameron in this.
Yeah,
true. He was.
Yeah, no, as I said, you can, like, age isn't that big a deal in this sort of thing anymore. As long as they're not like 60 and play a teenager. And
I've said in the last episode, I said I've seen Al Pacino play a 40-year-old.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you can do a lot, but yeah.
It's true. My choice for this one was actually Sophie Turner.
Oh,
I shouldn't have put her as my backup. I should have just left her.
You should have. I thought Sophie Turner would be.
She was my backup for Sloane, but yeah. Yeah,
she's just there's not a huge. She's not a huge age gap difference between who I have for her and Ferris. So I was just like, yeah, that kind of works because there's only like a year, maybe 2 between them.
Yeah, and she does have that like
stroppiness.
Yeah, like I've been
throw a strop
down. I've been beaten down and I've been looked over.
If we had done this about 5 years ago, Jennifer Lawrence probably would have been the ideal cast.
True.
As long as there was only ever going to be one film made, yeah.
See, the problem I have with this one is Saoirse Ronan would probably have the right look. She have the right look for it and the right age. But Emma Stone would have the capabilities for the role better. I think she'd suit the role more.
The comedy bit,
and the stroppiness that she'd have and all that type of stuff.
Can we just put it down to being a bad cast overall?
She's a little bit old for the role, so that's my dilemma there. Um,
Then you have to listen to Saoirse Ronan with an American accent as well.
I don't think her American accent's.
No, it's not too bad actually.
It's actually
it's not as bad. It's not as bad as a lot of the Irish accents.
It's actually, well, I tell you what, if you want to watch the worst Irish accent you'll ever hear in your life, watch the remember the 2003 remake of Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, there's a bad one in that.
The main guy in that is the scout leader in a film called Backcountry that I talk about quite a bit. And he's playing an Irish fella, and my Jesus, the worst Irish accent you'll ever hear. It's worse than the Irish accent in Alexander.
Oh Jesus!
They all do bad accents in that. Even Colin Farrell manages a bad Irish accent in that.
He could have been a good Ed Rooney.
Colin Farrell can do anything. He's the best actor in Hollywood, in my opinion.
He's too buff to be Ed Rooney.
I don't know. Look at him as the Penguin now.
I'm going to go with Emma Stone.
We watch
As I said, I found this casting very hard.
I just got to put that down as a bad cast, and overall.
I just found her and maybe I should have thought of Sophie Turner for that one, but I had thought of Sophie Turner for something else, so I kind of just didn't think of her then.
I haven't even thought of any of either her or the sister from Game of Thrones.
I thought of Maisie Williams, but she doesn't fit any of these roles.
She'd be too young. She'd be too young for it. Yeah.
She isn't even though. She's not that much younger than.
But she looks too young for it.
She does look.
She looks like a child.
Yeah,
she is well small though.
Yeah,
she is tidy. Yeah.
So now we have it's 3-3 going into the final two.
Final two. So we hope we don't have
can't
two draws.
Wait for a draw.
Well, I'm going to win if it's a draw, so that's fine.
we have our first draw overall. I'm gonna go with Cameron here. Obviously, we have to finish off with Ferris. So, Cameron, who you got and why? This is Greg first.
Greg first. Go ahead.
So I've only seen him in one movie, and I went with Timothée Chalamet.
Timothée Chalamet. Yeah, okay. I kind of expected him to come up.
Yeah, he has that look.
I actually thought Pete would choose him for Ferris.
No, never even think. When I seen him, I looked up pictures of actors around that age and whatnot.
Yeah.
He screamed an air of Cameron. There's a picture from one of the movies he's in where he's sitting at a window or standing at a window, and I'm looking at him going, "Yeah, you could do it."
He's a great actor. Timothée Chalamet is a great actor.
I think the only movie I've seen him in was Little Women, where he plays a woman.
I haven't seen that.
I haven't. I don't think I don't know if I've seen him in anything.
He plays one of the girls in it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen him in anything.
He's in a couple of those rom-com kind of things, I think.
Yeah, don't watch too many of them.
No.
Nah, he's been in some great stuff. Call Me by Your Name was great.
No, Little Women's the only thing I seen him in, but when I found out it was a lad, I was like,
Beautiful Boy as well. Sorry, that was fantastic.
I think I've seen some of that.
He played a drug addict in that, and Steve Carell's his dad.
Steve Carell's a hero.
I do love Steve Carell.
But Steve Carell, when he got his serious acting on, and he was great in it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's who I went with.
Okay, and Ted?
So Cameron, the first person I thought of, and this was I'd said this to you when we recorded the Retrotainment episode, was McLovin. He's the first person I thought of, right? Now he's not who I chose, but that's the first person I thought of because he looks exactly like him.
I am McLovin.
He if you watch that him in Superbad and then watch this, those two people look the exact same and they both have a very similar demeanor,
Yeah.
You can see that, yeah.
The only problem I came across was I think he's probably a bit too old to play the role.
He doesn't look like that now though.
Yeah, exactly. No. Yeah, exactly. So I was I think he's...
Is it Aaron Taylor Johnson or something his name is, isn't it?
No, it's Christopher
Mintz-Plasse.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a little bit too old. So I said, he was the first person I thought of. And then I was like, I can't base it on him in Superbad. I can't just go, we'll just get him back when he was in Superbad and put him in this.
Michael Cera.
So I couldn't do that. I wish it was Michael Cera. No, it's as I said, at one point I felt I was going a little bit too heavy on Cobra Kai. So this is why, because I went there with Gianni DiCanzo, who is Dimitri in Cobra Kai.
Hawk.
No.
Oh, sorry, Hawk. No, Dimitri, yeah.
Dimitri, the one that didn't become a cool guy like Hawk.
Yeah, Hawk is an animal.
Yeah. Speaking of Steve Carell earlier, he would have been a great Ed Rooney.
Yes.
He actually would, yeah. He actually would, yeah.
You could just picture him as Michael playing Ed Rooney.
Playing Michael as Ed Rooney, yeah.
That's not a bad choice at all. All right.
See, I don't think. See, the only thing I go there is Dimitri has some funny moments. Cameron doesn't have a whole lot. It's a real
Cameron
stern.
does.
Oh, Cameron does. When he goes completely blank.
Funny, but
when he goes
like,
completely blank,
it's not.
they're like,
there's no real jokes from him really. Do you know what I mean? It's more serious. He goes into the little coma thing and comes out and says, "Ferris Bueller, you're my hero."
There's also the whole hey, bada swing.
That happens at baseball games, though, lads.
That started in this.
That started from this.
That started in Ferris Bueller.
That's
and he completely just made that up. That was all ad lib. That wasn't in the script. You can even see it in the
film. He says it to him. He's like, "Hey, come on." Like he says it, then says it to Ferris. Come on, let's do this.
See, I didn't know.
Completely bored, waiting for the camera to roll. So just hey.
There's also the little bit when he comes out of the coma and they're like sitting back at his house and Sloane is like, Cameron, did you see me get changed by the pool? And he just kind of looks up and he's like, and I could just when he did that, I was like, that's your man Dimitri, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
that sort of thing he would do. Like.
My choice for that one, again, the only reason I know is because the missus has gone through all this, and there's one other Netflix kind of teenage drama-y thing, is then Dylan Minnette from 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, I heard about it, never watched
He's kind of the lead of the show, Dylan Minnette, Minnette.
Just looking him up now. I can't say I've ever seen him in anything.
This is the only thing I've seen him in, was 13 Reasons Why. He has the look.
Oh, he's in the new Scream that's coming up, but
is he?
Yeah, it hasn't been out. Oh, he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I must have seen him in that.
Oh, was he? I don't remember Agents of
S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't remember in it, but he apparently was in it.
He looks very familiar now. He was in Goosebumps, and he was in Don't Breathe.
That Goosebumps.
The TV show.
No, the movie.
Oh, I was like, how old was he back then? Like, Jesus, that guy's old.
The one with Jack Black.
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking, geez, that guy's old. He's in that. That's from like the 90s, lads.
True. For that one, I'm gonna have to go with Ted. Gianni. I think he suits Gianni suits the role better, and I can see him in that role more than I would Timothy. I think Timothy Chalamet would probably be too big not to be the lead of the film. As well, because he's blown, like he is a big name cast, and I don't think he's as funny as Gianni, and
I don't think he looks. I think he looks a bit too cool as well to be the kind of sidekick.
He wouldn't have been a bad choice for Ferris.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I've got mine for Ferris.
Well, see, I'm happy now because it's 4-3, so I can't.
You can't lose, yeah.
And Ferris is one that I really had.
Kind of wish I hadn't voted in Champions.
Champions Advantage.
Champions Advantage, but you did. But it's to me, isn't it? Anyway,
it is. So let the champion and the reigning champion, the continuing reigning champion,
continue
on with his last pick for Ferris Bueller.
Well, possibly by default, I might win this.
The two sweetest words in the English language.
Default. So one person I had is someone that we've already cast. So this person I had as my backup was Tanner Buchanan. I was like, he could do Ferris quite well. That, yeah. You know, like the popular kid, but also not insanely popular. But then I was just like, nah. See, that's why I had thing down as Henry Bowers or Nicholas Hamilton down as boy in the police station, because I was like, if I cast Robbie as Ferris, I need somebody else there. But then I was just like, he's just the correct.
Perfect for the boy.
I was like, the boy in the police station is a small role, so it's maybe a little bit too small for him. But I was like, he's just too perfect for that role, so I just had to go away from him. So I went with someone for Ferris that this was a risk. So I'm really glad that we are coming into this.
I again hope it's Michael Cera.
I wish it was Michael Cera. I wish I could cast Michael Cera in loads of stuff because it'd be really funny.
Was it Jack Black?
No. No, I cast Jack Black as a secretary. It was Tom Holland.
Yeah.
My question when I was thinking of Tom Holland is, can Tom Holland be the cool guy?
There's probably no point in going on with the.
You picked Tom Holland as well, did you?
Yeah.
To me, I was like, can he be the cool guy? Was my question. I was like, can he be the cool guy? Because he's the nerdy guy in Spider-Man, and that's all I know him from.
He can 100%.
He could definitely pull it off.
Yeah.
I had Austin Butler up until the other day.
Austin Butler.
I had him. I literally just seen a picture and I seen a couple of movies that he was in. I can't think of them off the top of my head. Didn't write them down.
Don't really. I can't say I've seen it. He's in an Elvis film that's coming up.
He was in Zoe 101.
He's in the Dead Don't Die.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I haven't seen that. He was in Once Upon a Time.
Check that out.
Dead Don't Die is very good.
Hollywood, yeah.
Dead Don't Die is something you'd like, Carl. It's like it's a horror, but it's the comedy
horror.
It's really Shaun of the Dead sort of stuff, like, but Deadpoolish in that it breaks fourth walls at times.
It's got Bill Murray too,
and it's got Bill Murray.
Cool.
Who I would have cast as anybody. I would have cast as anybody in this film, Bill Murray, and it would have won. But I can't always.
Bill Murray is playing.
That's a cheat code.
Sloan
it's a cheat code. We're not allowed to use Bill Murray. It's a cheat code.
We're gonna put Bill Murray as the young child actor. Okay.
Yes.
So we have our winner with a score of 5-4. We have Ted.
Keeping it going,
Continuing on. Two defenses.
Second longest, or like drawing for longest reigning champ, and also drawing for being the shortest reigning champ. Exactly. So I'll have to try and make one more.
We have Tom Holland. We have Gianni
DiCanzo, I think.
Gianni DiCanzo. We have Natalie Dyer, Bryan Cranston, Drew Barrymore, Tanner Buchanan, and Emma Stone. It's not a bad cast, lads. Not a bad cast.
No.
You're gonna have to bear with me here, lads. I was that confident I was gonna win that I didn't have a movie.
You should always have a film. I think I might have given you a false confidence in me saying that I had gone left field with a few of these. I thought Tom Holland was quite left field because I was kind of just thinking
all three of us chose him,
and then all of you chose him because I was like, is he able to play the kind of popular guy role? I was like, maybe he can't do that.
Yeah, he can.
But I'm sure, like, he's a great actor, so I was like, oh, sure he can. Like, but I was a little bit worried about him when I was thinking it.
Just stall it there, Ted.
As you can see, Greg is trying to choose the film for next 2 weeks for me versus Ted, the rematch.
I'm just making sure there's enough people in this. I have a list of movies there. I'm just making sure.
This is one of the problems. You need to pick a film with enough people in it, but also enough that it's not an even amount. But you also need to. We kind of have to try and steer away from a lot of children's films. We can't keep using because. Yeah. Well, no, I don't mind. Like teenage ones, I don't mind too much because, as we said, you can go a little. Like we used Emma Stone here, who would be in her 30s, so you can kind of. You can cheat a little bit there and say we'll use someone a little bit older, and if they fit the role, you can kind of just be like, we'll accept that. But when it's something like like an actual child actor, it's very hard to cast a child actor because one, there's only a handful of them who would be quite popular, so you're going to get a draw essentially there, and two, a lot of child actors are ones that just come up and then may never do anything again, or get discovered in that role. So it's very hard to actually pick someone because they haven't been discovered yet.
And while we're here, while Greg is still deciding there, I just want to
I'm ready.
I just want to say for you, thanks everyone for voting on the polls that we've been doing. If you do want to get involved and give your vote on these polls, they go up on my own Instagram there, and it's on Carl Sherlock 91, and just go and throw a friend request in there. I'll accept you in, and you can vote on these polls. They're a lot of fun, sometimes quite accurate, sometimes not to what we decide ourselves here, but it's always a bit of crack, and you get to see if the audience poll matches ours.
Yeah, and if anyone has any, choices that we didn't pick or you disagree with the choices,
of course,
comment them down below. Like, I'd love to see what other people have thought for, certain roles. Like people, because as I said, Emma Stone didn't even think of her. Drew Barrymore.
Brian Cranston didn't think of him.
Yeah, it's mad how different people think. Like, oh yeah. See, I thought of Brian Cranston because I've been rewatching Malcolm in the Middle. Genuinely, I've been rewatching it, and I was like, Brian Cranston is hilarious, lads. Why isn't this guy being used more?
The move that he made from that to Breaking Bad was just
exactly.
Sure, everybody thought Breaking Bad was going to be a bomb because it was Brian Cranston.
Yeah, serious actor, that lad.
And then you get the fan theory that he survives.
Well, that
Breaking
is true.
Bad
it is.
And goes to Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah, that's true though. Like.
Yeah, that's what happened. True story, lads.
Yeah, that's what happened. He went off and lived there. But go ahead, Greg.
So, Greg, what torture do you have for us now for 2 weeks?
I'm gonna go with a John Hughes classic in The Breakfast Club.
The Breakfast Club.
Okay.
Right, The Breakfast Club in 2 weeks.
Fuck all y'all.
Me versus Carl in The Breakfast Club again. A lot of teenagers in this one again.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, see, I got stuck with this one. I gave you a nice one with Predator, and then I got stuck with this shit. Not a shit movie, by the way. Not a shit movie, by the way.
It's a shit one to recast. That's the problem there.
So now you can have the pain of it. Well, actually, I'll have the pain of it because I'm going to do it as well. But sure, look.
I've had the pain this week of doing it.
Yeah, but you're the champ.
I am the champ, yeah.
You give us Hook as well.
That was episode 2, though, That was...
True. That's true.
That's only because he didn't want to do it.
Well, 1, I didn't want to do it, but 2, I didn't realize how hard it would be to actually do it.
Yeah.
Like, we were still in the teething phase at that point of like, oh, what do we do if this happens?
Yeah,
true. Very true. The Breakfast Club, that's going to be a rough one.
Yeah, we'll decide on what characters we're going to do now in a minute. But for this, that's it for this week. Obviously, follow us on the Dynamo Podcast Network. Follow Carl on the Sherlock Reel on YouTube, on all of his socials as well. We're Retrotainment on Facebook. Dynamo Podcast Network is on Facebook as well.
Retrotainment 1 on Instagram as well.
Yeah, Retrotainment 1 on Twitter as well. Carl's most recent show went up. We were on that. It was Wrestlers in Films.
Wrestlers in Films. That was the week before.
The week before.
Yeah,
last.
that was the one before last. We just did 80s comedies this week.
Oh,
I was tying it into this. I was tying it into Recast.
Yeah, good. 80s comedies.
That's what I was doing. 80s comedies, getting in there with Ferris Bueller. We might have it with
to find out what won that.
Breakfast Club as well.
Yeah, could win there. Could win.
So tune back in there. It went up there just the other day. So if you want to tune into that, go ahead. It's all up there on the Sherlock Reel on YouTube.
Perfect. And we've been continuing on with our Action August. So check out our latest video on the Dynamo Podcast Network. But we'll see you again in 2 weeks for me to beat the brakes off Carl again and become the longest reigning champion of all time. But until then,
hey.
Good luck.
Don't you forget about me.
I haven't forgotten about anybody. I've beaten everybody.
I get that. That's a good one.
It is. It was good. Good luck, lads.